What's going on, fam? So it's Coach Michael and I'm back with another amazing video. So I want to welcome all of my first time viewers to the channel. My name is Coach Michael and on this channel I help you to live with intention and with purpose. So if you're interested in either one of those things, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, select all so you don't miss the next time I go live or the next time I upload a video just like this one. But as for today, guys, I just want to hop right into the topic at hand. Now, I'm not going to have a lot of edits and things like that. There will be some slight edits, but this video is more for encouraging purposes rather than educational purposes. So recently, not too long ago, I lost my job on Wednesday, which is March the 18th. I was with the company for about 6 months. And during my time with the company, I really enjoyed what I was doing. I'm not going to put the company's name out there for certain purposes. I don't want to cause any controversy or anything like that. So I'm going to keep it real, just real private and just basically tell you guys, what happened. So with me being with this company for, 6 months, I really enjoyed the line of work that I did. I went into the job. I had already, now I'm going to backtrack this a little bit. Now I had already went into the job knowing that I wasn't going to retire from the job because I have businesses. I'm a life coach, personal trainer, and also I'm a credit consultant. So I focus on 3 main areas. And I've been helping people do that for a while, even while working on jobs. So just to get back into the story, I had a meeting with my regional sales manager and branch manager and another manager, and we all kind of sat down in the office. Now this was about, I think this was March the 5th or so, but anyway, it was like 2 weeks, two to 2.5 weeks earlier, we had talked about switching me to another department within the company. Me, myself, I told them during the meeting, because the reason why we even had the meeting was because they told me that, hey, your performance has been substandard, meaning that you're not performing to the optimum level that we would like you to perform to. And I kind of told them that, hey, I'm a college student. I'm in school for psychology right now, and I got just a lot of other things that are kind of on my plate that are just a little bit more important than some of the things that they were kind of asking me to do, that I felt that really I didn't need to do because the management was not in place like it needed to be. But that's another story, a whole different video I could probably talk about it. But for the most part, management had been switched out and they were bringing a new manager in. So I was in the meeting actually with him. And I told them once they brought me in, I was like, hey, I just want to go ahead and be switched to another department that I feel like may be better for me. They all said, okay, I'm glad that you were honest about that. And my regional sales manager, the one who actually, quote unquote, called me to tell me I was terminated, he put his head down and shook his head. And I looked at that as an indicator, well, maybe he doesn't want me to move from the department I'm in to another one because I have a great skill set. I know how to talk to people. I'm very relatable, very personable, things like that. So I thought to myself, well, he probably doesn't want me to go to another department. So fast forward, they told me to, hey, just call and let us know how you're feeling over the next couple of weeks because we want to, see what's best for you, your family, things like that. So they know I'm a family man, love my wife, love my daughter, been married 14 years, and I have responsibilities outside of work, right? I have, bills to pay. I have businesses and companies that I have to make sure that the bottom line is taken care of with certain things and a lot of other things. So I didn't tell all of them that, but I'm inviting you guys into knowing that, which I'm pretty sure you guys know that if you have, probably an employer and businesses. But anyway, but I had no return phone call. I called my managers over and over and over with no return phone calls. Nobody gave me a call back. And my messages were literally left on red where my supervisor, one of my supervisors out of that meeting, because it was 3 of them, but one of the main ones out of that meeting, 2 of them out of that meeting, no, 3 of them, I let all 3 of them know that I was ready to move to a different department, but nobody responded back to me. So I'm like, okay, Lord, well, whatever your will is, it will be done, so that was my main thing. I just kind of left it in the Lord's hands and I prayed about it. So my birthday was on March the 15th, which was that Sunday. I sprung my back after I came back from spending time with my wife and daughter. Came back home. I made a grocery run, and I was bringing the groceries into the house. Long story short, I ended up straining the back muscle because I picked up the basket wrong while trying to bring it into the house. I picked up the bags wrong while I came into the house. So I hurt my back, so I was off work for about 2 days. Now take note, I had called them previously before that. I get a text message on that Tuesday, day before I got terminated, saying that, hey Michael, we have a meeting that's going to be at the office, but we don't need you to come to the meeting. I'm just going to call you some point throughout the day. So I'm like, okay, so hope that's the position that I've been waiting for. So I go ahead and transfer and take a little bit of stress off my shoulders. But lo and behold, on that Wednesday, the first thing he calls and tells me is, hey Mike, I want to read you this letter. And I'm thinking to myself, like, read me this letter. I'm like, hey, hey, what's going on? I don't get a, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? What's been going on? Like, nothing like that. He immediately goes into the spiel of letting me know that, hey, we are, in so many words, deciding to separate our partnership with you, and we're no longer in need of your employment with us. And in that moment in time, I didn't get discouraged, but I felt peace. I felt really relieved. And the reason why I felt relieved was because I know that the Lord is Jireh, meaning he's my provider. And immediately, the first thing I was reminded of, and I'm going to go back to my text message. Like I said, this is a real raw upfront video. Me and one of my spiritual brothers, we always talk all the time about the goodness of the Lord and what he's doing and how he's just transforming things in our lives. And that actual previous day, which is that Tuesday, because Wednesday was the day I was actually going back to work, and it was also the day I received the call. But that Tuesday, we had just talking. He sent me this scripture, and it comes from Colossians 4:2. And it says, be earnest and unwearied and steadfast in your prayer life, being both alert and intent in your praying with thanksgiving. So this means to be thankful in your approach when it comes to your prayer life and your posture with Christ. And we had just talked literally the day before about this, how we're both in a season of just being postured. We're not being moved. We're not doing what God instructed us not to do, like he was mentioning in the book of Matthew, where he told them not to pray like pagans, babbling on in prayer, because true enough, the Lord knows what we need before we even ask. He's never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. So it's no need for us praying about something he already knows we need. He's not moved by need, but he's moved by posture. How willing are you to still be in a posture of thanksgiving, even when everything around you seems to be torn up? And that is exactly what I did during the whole time, guys. I didn't sit back and try to hurry up and hustle to another job or try to find my way. I said, okay, God, I'm going to sit. I'm going to still operate in faith, because faith without works is dead. I'm still going to operate in my faith, but I'm not going to move and rush out of anxiety. I'm not going to move out of fear, but I'm going to make sure that I'm steadfast in thanksgiving, because that's the way we ought to move, is to move steadfast in thanksgiving. Not move steadfast in anxiety, not move steadfast in fear, not move steadfast in worry, but move steadfast in prayer, and stay that way. Stay steadfast in prayer with thanksgiving. That's the main thing. So during this time, I've been just staying grateful. And I share this testimony because there may be somebody out there who has lost a job and has went to another job, or there may be a person who's on a job right now and they may not like their job. Whatever your situation may be right now in any facet of life, I want you to understand that Thanksgiving is the best posture that you can have. I'm not saying that you shouldn't look for another job. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, try to find some way of providing for your family or providing for yourself. But what I am saying, before you make those haste decisions, stop and just have a posture of thanksgiving. Because sometimes when we move, we can move out of a place of fear, which is the wrong lens we're filtering things through, and that's going to cause us to make a wrong decision at the wrong time. And now not only are you going to be affected, but everyone around you is going to be affected as well. I've been on several jobs before, and I would always kind of wonder, hey, why do I keep losing jobs? The longest job I've ever held was 6 years. And that was by God's grace. And during those 6 years, that's when I started my first company back in 2019. Ever since then, I've grown my coaching company and things like that, helping individuals to live with intention and with purpose. And I told myself, I said, you know what? I said, this must be my opportunity to really move forward in the things that you have for me. This must be the moment that you really want me to move forward in what you have called me to do. Because me and my wife, we have businesses and things like that that we give him glory through all the time, including this YouTube channel. So I want to share this as a bit of encouragement to the person that may be struggling on the 9 to 5, the person that may have things that they're trying to do, but it just seems like you just can't get your foot in the right direction. Your footing is just not right. I want you to understand, in all things, just have thanksgiving and make sure that your prayer life is steadfast. We're supposed to pray without ceasing, meaning that on a day-to-day, throughout your day, just praying, just praying that the Lord will continue to order your footsteps. And I want you to understand that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. If I would have taken on the victim mentality, then I would have been sitting down saying, woe is me, and feeling sorry for myself. But I chose to make sure that I learned what it is that the Lord wants me to learn out of this, and maybe what he's trying to push me into, because every exit is always an opening to a new door. It's not the end of something, but it's the beginning of something else. See, the difference is when you're postured in Christ versus being postured in your emotions and feelings, you will see that there's nothing wasted, that there's always something that comes from something. But the only way we'll be able to see this, as I talked about earlier, is when we begin to shift our perspective from pessimistic to optimistic. So hey guys, that's all I wanted to share with you in this video. And I hope that this reaches whoever it needs to reach, and that you guys will be inspired and encouraged to remain postured. So remember, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, select all, so you get all notifications about every video I upload and every time I go live. So once again, it's Coach Michael. Remember, you were created to be more. All links in the description below if you need any of my coaching or any tools. See you guys in the next one.